choose UAB because of the students here and just how amazing they are. They really seem to care a lot about each other and their lives outside of school, which is really important to me. Another reason that I decided to choose UAB is because of the diversity that was here. One of the interviews I went on, there were no Black people, which is very concerning as a Black student going into medicine. But when I came here, there was a diverse student body and people that live here is very diverse, so I knew that at the very least I would have a diverse population to work with my training.
I really didn't know what it was that I wanted to do long term. I had in engineering was where most of my background was, and I even considered doing some pure chemistry, all kinds of different things that other people in the school weren't doing when I was applying. And a lot of places where I talked to someone and they basically said, well, we'll find a way to make you fit our mold. And when I talked to people here, they were all like, yeah, people will go out of their way to help you do what it is you want to do. And if that's something no one's ever done before, then it's something we'll make sure we can fit to you.
Sense at UAB, not only that the students were really happy here, but that students were supported in going into areas that weren't your typical MD-PhD or your typical physician scientist track. When I was picking a program, I obviously knew I loved research, and I could definitely see myself as a PI running a lab, but I also wasn't 100% sold on that was what I wanted to do, and I wanted to explore a lot of other avenues like working in underserved populations and doing more service-oriented medicine.
I was apprehensive about applying to med school because I was older. I had already worked at several places in addition to having my PhD in chemistry, and those things made me a little bit nervous about jumping back into this environment. And again, one thing that made UAB unique was that nobody seemed to care about that. Everybody was interested in hearing my story. They really wanted the diversity of applicants, including diversity of age. And so it never was an issue in my time applying, and hasn't been since I've been here.
What makes UAB special? When I first came here, I noticed immediately that everyone liked being around each other. And that was a really important thing for me. Because I wasn't just bringing myself to whatever institution I joined. I'm married, I have 3 kids, and I think joining an institution that's supportive of a more family environment, I thought was really important.
What drew me here was knowing that there was a history and an interaction with that history, that there was an opportunity to hear a major part of the American story, whether that's at the Birmingham Civil Rights Institute or anywhere else within the city, that there was a chance to interact with this foundational part of our nation's story. The things that surprised me moving to Birmingham were that it had an amazing indie music scene. It was not something I anticipated. That there was good food, that there was artisanal ice cream. So there were things about Birmingham that I didn't expect. Another was that it can actually be intensely beautiful, both architecturally within the neighborhoods, but also in nature itself.
One of the many special things about UAB was definitely the student culture. So when I was going on my interviews, students would be nice, but sometimes I would notice people who were in the same cohort who hadn't seen each other in 3 months. And the only reason that they were seeing each other, even though they were in all the same classes, was because there was an interview. So it was very apparent that they weren't really cohesive with one another. And down the street from me, actually, about 4 MSTPs live on the same street, and they cut each other's grass, they walk each other's dogs, they hang out outside of class, they hang out outside of interview season. And so that was really one of the wonderful things, was that there's truly a community of students, no matter what your interests are.
I've begun my medical training as an NIH OxCam MSTP. Having experienced the NIH, Cambridge, Columbia, UAB is a hidden giant. I think the collaborative atmosphere and nature of the mentorship that one receives here is also unique and very distinct to UAB. The opportunities for clinical exposure earlier are unparalleled. And I think if you're looking to advance something from the bench to the bedside, you have a number of mentors here who are doing just that.